guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today is Vlogmas Day 7. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. I am doing Vlogmas for the next 24 days. And for my theme this year, I am doing motivation. So I hope you'll join me. I will leave the playlist for the past episodes in the description box below. So I hope you'll check them out. And let's begin. Today's episode, get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Now, what does this mean? It means that not all the time are you going to know everything, or you're not always going to be 100% sure of yourself or certain about what to do, and this is okay. Giving yourself permission to not know everything right away is going to take a lot of this burden off. Many times I hear from brand new students into medical coding or brand new people into the field, and they say, well, you know, Blue, I just don't think that this is for me. I don't understand anything, and I'm so lost. I don't like this, and I'm just going to quit. What I have to say to that is if it is that easy for you to quit just because you feel uncomfortable and you don't understand and no one has explained this to you, if it is that easy for you to quit, it's always going to be easy for you to quit, and you're never going to follow through with anything. The thing about getting comfortable with the uncomfortable is knowing that it's okay when you don't understand something, looking for different ways to combat those feelings of uncertainty and not really understanding or knowing, learning different ways, right? Instead of just learning the old-fashioned ways, maybe trying another way, or maybe just looking for another resource to help you. When you are learning and you're in a new profession, there's going to be times when you're like that. You're going to have a series of firsts, right? When you are in school, you're going to go from doing chapters and working with the workbooks and working in a class, perhaps, to taking your exam. And you're going to feel like, oh gosh, am I ready? Well, no, I'm not ready just yet. It's that uncomfortable feeling, right? That unknown that you have to sort of step into. And you have to sort of start stepping into these unknowns willingly, especially when you are starting in a brand new field. And when you're starting in a new career, it's going to be a lot of firsts, and it's going to be a lot of that feeling uncomfortable. But getting used to that is really going to help you. And that's the first part of this. Then you're going to go into the real world of medical coding, perhaps, if you're going to become a medical coder. And when you go into the real world, you're going to have a lot of uncomfortable feelings. You're going to have the first time you have to query a provider. Am I going to sound right? Is this going to come out okay? What should I do? I don't know if I'm going to sound okay. You have to be as okay with it as you possibly can. Make sure that if you are sending a query, that it is written properly, that you follow the rules to writing queries, and that you make sure that everything is clear. And then you're going to have the other series of firsts when you start to interact with them, perhaps give a class. A lot of people immediately want to pump the brakes when I talk about giving classes. I know right now we're all in COVID, but there are some people that are doing Zoom classes for their providers. And so that's always an interesting thing to do, because while you're not in front of them, it still can be anxiety inducing, right? And so with that, you have to be comfortable with public speaking, because, it's taking a little bit of the edge off because you don't have to physically be in front of them, but they're still watching you. So these are all the things that it's just going to take time, but getting used to that feeling of, and then working with it, facing it head on rather than running from it, is what is going to help you to develop into a high caliber medical coder, because that's ultimately what you want, or at least that's what I hope that you would want. I know for some people it's just going to be a job and that's what they do. They go 9 to 5 and then that's it. But for others, it turns into more of a calling like it did for me. And so that's why I share all this information with you guys. But when it comes to being uncomfortable and you're trying to sort of get past that feeling, like how do you get past it? The best thing that you can do is get organized. If you're going to start speaking to providers, if you're going to start sending queries, make sure that you fully understand what you're talking about before you go to them. Exhaust everything before you start to interact with them, because you want to make sure that Yes, you didn't have all the years of medical school training that they did, but you want to still make sure that you're bringing your A game as much as you can. And you can reach out to others for help, but always choose carefully who you're reaching out for help to, because not everybody that you reach out for help to is going to want to help you. A lot of what we do as medical coders is very independent work. And when I hear the thing of, well, no one taught me, no one showed me, this is something that you're going to have to learn a lot of things on your own, unfortunately, which is another reason why I created my channel to talk about the little things that no one else talks about. And so I hope you've had a chance to catch up on all my episodes. I know there's over 400, but you know, you can always hit the search bar and see if there's something that interests you that way. But getting back to the topic at hand, when you are trying to learn all these things and you're trying to sort it out in your head and you're doing all these things that you know are going to help you, this should give you some comfort and it should help you to know that you are on the right track. You may not fully understand everything right away, but you are starting to get the gist of what is happening. And if it's not working, then you should always try to use other resources. Use YouTube. YouTube has a lot of really good videos about all different topics. Anything you could ever want to know is on YouTube. And so that is another resource that you can use. If you are trying to get really good with communication, I recommend watching TED Talks. TED Talks are amazing in the fact that people are sharing their stories, they're sharing their knowledge, and this is a really valuable resource to give you that competitive edge of being a very good communicator. Because a lot of those people that do talk on the TED Talks, they're wonderful with communicating and they're wonderful with motivating as well. At least that is who I look up to when I'm trying to get motivation to do motivation. And a lot of this is myself as well, because whenever I see like people that are just starting out, you know, it's so exciting because it's brand new. And I just hope that they always kind of stick with it because it's so easy in the beginning to give up. But, you know, when you embrace those feelings of, well, I'm not going to know everything, and there's going to be times when things are going to be hard and I'm going to want to pull my hair out and I'm going to cry because medical coding will make you cry. On occasion, it will make you cry. Many tears have happened with medical coding, even for me. Even when I was in school, even now as a coder now, there's times when I do get frustrated and it does make me cry because it's not so much that not understanding the material. I understand the material. It is getting the material and the providers to marry up. That is what is the frustrating part, especially when it's been gone over a lot of times. So it's just like, what am I doing wrong? Even I have those moments, but I'm willing to embrace it and I'm willing to say, you know what? I need to try a different approach. I need to make sure that I am looking at this from the other side. And how would this person best learn? And how can I make it more comfortable for them? Because even though it's uncomfortable for me, because I am not sure of what's happening, I'm getting comfortable with it by embracing that unknown. So that is what you want to do. That is at least my advice anyway. The more that you do your internal dialogue where you're saying, it's okay that I don't understand everything, but I'm going to try to look at this resource or look at that resource. And I have tons of resources listed all the time, guys. If you look at my community tab, I am always posting about free resources for you guys to look up, or I'm telling you about different websites that you can go to that are free. And I'm just doing these things to help you guys out. So always kind of look at those things too. And even if it's not of interest for you at the moment, it still doesn't hurt for you to check out those things, because that way you can always kind of remember, oh yeah, I did see something about that. Because you never know if this resource may be able to help you. And that is what it's all about, is gathering those resources and being able to find those things that can help you when you feel that uncomfortableness of, oh gosh, I need to learn this. Well, there's lots of tricks and tips out there, but you just have to be paying attention to those tips and tricks too. Because a lot of times the answers are right in front of us, and we're so busy feeling uncomfortable and sort of sinking into that feeling that we don't look around us and see that there is help out there and there's a hand up if we're looking for it. So you have to look for it, and that is the message for today. So I hope this was a good episode for you, and I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye.